Hey, what's good, man? It's your boy Lorii Woods, and you tapped in with Big Talk with Big Regg. No days like low days.
What's up, you man? Big Reg, Big Talk. You already know what it is. Uh, got somebody here with me, man. This guy right here. Met him, what, about 3 years ago?
Yeah, 3 years about
About
right.
3 years ago. I met him through somebody else who I was working with, and they kept telling me about this kid. And when we put the other person in the studio, I was getting calls about somebody else. All the producers was asking about the other kid. And so when they hit us up, they was like, yo, who's the other kid with the artist? Because he's ready. And I'm like, it gotta be the kid Lorii that they keep telling me about. So I made the call, and yeah, it was him. Lorii Woods. Listened to his music, and I'm like, this kid is dope, man. And from there, man, you've just been hearing him all over the place, seeing his work. This kid is his pen is amazing, man. He's been doing big things. We got him right here, man. Lorii Woods, what's good, boy?
Hey, what's good, man? Great to be in the place, bro.
All right, first off, we're gonna start it from the beginning. Lorii Woods, where's Lorii Woods from?
Lorii Woods, man. Originally, I'm out of Jamaica. Yo, not a lot of
Okay.
people don't know the part of Jamaica I'm from, but Manchester, Reeswood. It's in like a town called like Portis or whatever. But from there, Canada, Bronx. But you feel me? I'm out of Hartford. In terms of Lorii Woods, like I didn't really start, you know what I'm saying, popping my music and really start doing what it doing until I came to Hartford. So
Okay. All right. So now, when I heard your music and heard about you, I was wondering why I haven't heard about you. You know, because you was just too dope, and I knew everybody on the scene. Um, so where were you doing your thing at? What was the first thing to get you noticed by other people?
um, when I first popped out here, it was my man's pretty much. I was trying to get into the studio for a little bit. I was kind of slacking. I'm not gonna lie, but I reached out to like my boy. He ended up actually connecting me to 2-4,
Okay.
producer out here in Hartford. But he ended up connecting me with him. My first session, I ended up, you know what I'm saying, what I laid down, it, from that point on, like that started doing what it was, you know what I'm saying, doing. And on the way out of the studio on that day, I bumped into somebody that would actually end up, you know, trickling down the line, making everything become what it became later on. But um, yeah, I ended up recording a track called Savage on my second session at that spot, and we just kind of like put a little bit of steam behind it, and everything started to circulate around Hartford, and yeah, from there it was kind of up.
All right. So, like you say, you're from Jamaica. If you listen to your music, is real well rounded, man. You got like R&B. You could rap, and then you have these like top 40 songs that's also dope. Where do you get that wide range from?
Um, Honestly, man, you know, when I first started making music, I was rapping before anything else. Honestly, I always could sing. I was singing in the shower and whatnot. Everybody asked me if I ever got like vocal training and all that stuff, but nah. I was only real talk, just singing in the shower. Nowhere beyond that. Um, uh, yeah, man. I started pretty much just like adding melodies to my raps. They just kind of became songs. I was trash at first, I'm not gonna lie. Eventually, you know what I'm saying, it started to become, you know, what it's become. And my influences, like anything that is good music, anything that sounds good, anything that I could really feel. A lot of the times, like it ain't even music that really has to have words. Anything that just captures me and can take me somewhere else. Like I'm a fan. That could span from like you know what I mean, Coldplay, John Mayer. Um, a lot of my influences, especially spanning back to my roots, like Jacure, Bob Marley, somebody I rock with heavy, Frank Ocean. Like a lot of these people are like big on instrumentation. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it goes beyond the words. Like it's the feeling or the energy that you know what I'm saying the music invokes that like I be gravitating to.
Okay, my man Lorii Woods is here. Um, so see, I'm not gonna talk to you like I don't know you. I'm not gonna do the regular. So you've done it. No, we're not gonna do that. So I know for a fact you came from a rough patch. You know what I'm saying? Like you had it tough. You've been through things in your life,
It's, uh,
and you got a song "Blinded Jump" that covers some of that,
mhm.
which is crazy. And you recorded that song, did the video and everything. In how many hours?
So real talk, that whole process like happened in the span of a night. Um, got in the studio at about like maybe it might have been like 11 o'clock. Um, loaded up the beat. We started recording. We were done recording by like maybe like 1 o'clock,
A.M.
1 a.m. Yeah,
Okay.
and I hit my homegirl up, and I was adamant on just kind of like finishing what I started. I hit her up at like 1 a.m. I'm like, yo, are you awake right now? Like, what are you doing? She hit me up saying, yeah. Um, by the time she got her stuff ready to go and everything, we had started shooting by like maybe like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
We did not stop until like the sun started to come up. It was like 9 o'clock by the time we stopped shooting. We got back. Um, Probably started like she transferred the footage over. We started chopping it up maybe at like 11, and that whole video was put together maybe by like 2 o'clock in the evening. And then I think we just put it out. Real talk.
Yeah, that's that work that you need to do. But you a studio rat though. You love being in the studio. Like when I met you, you was like, yo, I stay in the studio. I just sleep here.
Nah, that's real talk, bro.
You always talked about that. Um, how important is the studio for you though? Because that's one thing I will say. There's a lot of artists out now. You know, they got hit records or whatever, but they're not heavy in the studio. You know, they got their records, but you don't see them in the studio like that. You love being in the studio, and I could tell from if you have a hit record or if you don't have a hit record, you just like the studio.
Mhm. Um, for me, like the studio is like it is deeper. It's really it goes way deeper than the music. Um, like I don't really, in terms of being vocal, is as far as like real life, how I be feeling, um, just like communicating with people on like on a personal level. Like I am not the greatest at it. Like there'd be so much on my mind that I be trying to say that I'm just not capable of like bringing the thought to my actual mouth. So, like real talk, there are moments where like I be what I'm saying, I be in my just just a certain just headspace that I cannot get out of, and usually how I get all of that out with not being able to communicate it verbally, what I have is my music. You feel me? And there's moments like where I cannot get it down on page either, and like I can feel a swell in me, bro. Like I'm about to explode, and it's anxiety, and it builds up. So like when I can get that moment to slide in the studio and actually like create something kind of like at the end of the track, it might not even sound like it came from like a hurt place or anything, but like just to be able to get it out, you know what I'm saying? That be what keeps me level a lot of the time. So yeah, real talk.
Your songs, a lot of them, it's like relationship songs, or is a song talking to a female.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a personal place? Because I listen to the records and it's like, okay, how do you just write something like this if you haven't really went through that or know somebody who have?
Yeah. So, um, pretty much all my music does come from a personal place. Um, a lot of them might not be directed towards a female per se, but what I'll do is I try to generalize it so that people can connect. You know what I mean? Beyond just my personal, what I'm saying, experience. Um, but a lot of it be tied to like my relationships with friends, family, just how I see people like live amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? But like, I just try to make it translate in a way that people can understand.
All right, I'm gonna run through a couple of songs of yours, and you tell me where the inspiration came from, and then we're gonna get into your studio sessions with who you've been with in the studio and all of that. So, first song I'm gonna go with is "Blinded Jump." We just talked about that video being shot in like crazy time. What was that about? Because that video, like, to me, it was a powerful video. Probably because I know the story, but let the people know where that came from.
For me, Played was really about like, I feel like what people put on the forefront. Um, you know how we like, obviously like what's glamorized a lot is like nice cars, jewelry, um, all of this stuff that comes with the ups. You know what I'm saying, of like the industry, or just trying to make it or do something with your music or whatever your craft is, you know, creatively. But like, I feel like what people put on the forefront isn't a lot of the times the reality of the situation, or what you really have to endure to even get to the jewelry or the cars. You know what I'm saying? Like for me personally, um, like my struggle has been like, you know, ongoing. Well, it was ongoing for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, like since I was 19, I got, you know what I'm saying, put out, and all strength of just like the fact that I could not be deterred from like just knowing what I wanted and knowing that nobody could take me from my path. You feel me? And a lot of people did not see what I saw. You know what I mean, in myself. I felt like, but I wanted to really like just bring people in and show them what was at least real for me in that moment, just on my journey trying to get to where I was going. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty much Blinded Jump.
All right, what that means.
Mm-hmm.
That video, I watched it on YouTube. I seen it on BET. Shouts out to you for that. Shouts out to BET. Where did that come from? Because it got a retro. It's a retro video. You got the afro, the robe.
Uh, so what that means, I pretty much like, I don't know if people like caught on to what was like going on in the intro and the outro of the video, but like I pretty much wanted to take people into the madness that like be going on in my head, like kind of like just like I wanted to capture it if I could, literally like a random thought, and I was pretty much going for shock value. Like this, like you know, what I mean, we already know like how much we had to like cut out the video just so we could even get it aired on BT. But like, I was trying to like have people see the video and like my reaction at the end of the video when like I popped up out of the dream and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted people to be sitting in there wherever they at actually, and just like be watching the video like, yo, what is like, what really made this dude choose to pop out the bathroom in a bathrobe, you know what I mean, with hella drugs all over the place and feathers sticking out of his afro, you know what I mean, with a cheesecake smeared across it. Like, what really provoked him to do something like this, you know what I'm saying? So that's, yeah, that was what that means.
All right. So now, during the pandemic, you know, it was locked down. People couldn't do a lot. It wasn't much music being produced. People wasn't doing a lot. But you were able to get into the studio with a R&B legend,
Yeah.
which is NEYO.
Yes, sir.
And you was in writing session. How long you was in the studio?
I don't know, but I keep on telling everybody it was like 3 months. If it wasn't 3 months, it felt like 3 months. Cause
No, it had to be something around that, because how many songs y'all do?
we put a couple of them things away, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just trying to figure out when we gonna start dropping them.
Yeah,
But
man, that's once you start dropping them, that's gonna be to the moon. That's the one that I like.
I was just listening to is drugs and To the Moon the same thing?
No.
Yeah, all right. So I was just listening to Drugs on the way
See,
here.
drugs. I haven't heard drugs. I heard To the
Man.
Moon, and I heard Calling Me.
Yeah, man. Definitely got to finish. Yeah, man. We got a
Those are
couple of
two.
them Johns in the back. We got to touch on.
Yeah. So you're in the studio with NEYO. You writing these records. What was that feeling like?
I'm not gonna lie, man. It took me like maybe like a good little bit to really like settle into my own. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it did. I remember. I remember you saying that.
When cause you already know like that. I sing, I sing, but I don't really like, you know what I mean, consider myself a singer and I rap, but I don't really consider myself a rapper either. But like to be in that room, like I felt like I was completely out of my element. It was a room full of R&B singers, and I did not really feel like that's what I do. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. Like the first few I was in there, I felt like, you know, what I did would not really resonate the way that I intended it to, just among the people that were in the room. So I felt like I tried to fit a mold, in a sense. You know what I mean? And I definitely feel like it affected my output, or you know what I'm saying, whatever I was creating. And I, but also though, what I do when I walk into rooms, man, and what I learned, just walking into room to room, is real talk. You can't just like walk into the room and then kind of just like bully your way into the fold. You gotta kind of like fall back, learn the lay of the land, try to understand the dynamic that existed before you were even present. You know what I'm saying? And then try to figure out how you can contribute to that. You know what I mean? So you're kind of building on it instead of clashing. You know, so did that, played the ball, just kind of observed how everything moved, and then when I started to get my grips on it, you know what I'm saying? Um, I know you remember I hit you and I told you like, yo, bro, I'm about to just go in there and just start bullying him,
Yeah,
bro.
I remember
And
that.
after that, like, it just completely changed, bro. It just started going up from there, man. And from there, it just, you know what I mean, been no looking back.
So when you went in and did what you do, what was the first thing Neo said to you?
Um, I remember you were telling me, man. I had it was, what was the name of the song? I don't remember. I do not remember the name of the song, but I remember the hook. Trying to live my life like it's paradise. It's out of my control, but I keep rolling like paradise. And that was the hook. I recorded the hook, and I looked outside of the booth, and like everybody in the room is just staring inside. I'm like, should I keep going? Everybody like, what you talking about? You should keep going. Feel me? They bent me on. I went back and I did the hook, and then I laid the verse, and everybody was just like, yo, you got one. They just told me to keep that track in my back pocket because that joint is gonna make me millions one day. And then from there, you know what I mean? I just knew like, all right, so definitely like, you know, just always just stay true, man. Just do you.
So what you doing? Okay, so now you've been doing this for a little minute. Um, you had prior management, and you know you went through some things. What what have you learned in this not short time that you've been in the business, but uh, these last few years that you've been really moving?
Um, if we're talking about like really going for it,
Yeah.
man, you can't. Don't be afraid of being great. And when I say like that sounds like real generic. Don't be afraid of being great, but like it's that really it goes deeper than you think. Is you got to like really consider all that it takes to be great. And you know what I'm saying? Like being great comes with a lack of a social life, no, like you know, not a lot of free time. It comes with you not seeing eye to eye or relating to people that you came up with, people that you thought were, you know, your friends, people that you thought were going to be with you at all times. You know what I'm saying? It means, man, just honestly putting in more hours than the other people that you know are doing it too, because honestly if you don't get it, somebody else is going to. man, being great, bro. Just it's a lot. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. You know what I mean? So, um,
That
the-
grind.
yeah, bro. Real talk. Like people don't really understand. Like a lot of the times, like I be on social media. I be posting. I be posting. I be posting. I be posting. I be posting out my, bro. But I really don't even like social media like that at all, bro. Like if it wasn't for this music, I probably wouldn't even be on it. But like even I be going through my stuff. You feel me? Like I be real life happens, and it's irrelevant. Like in as far as like what's going on, like it's irrelevant. It does not matter because like, you have to keep on going because that's what it takes to be great. Like people see me and I know how it translates because I see people out and about. We have conversations. I'm not really the most forthcoming about what I be going through, but you know what I'm saying. Just like based off conversation, I can tell people's impression of what they what they think is going on. Like life is sweet for you, bro. You good, man. You I see you just posted yada yada in wherever you was with whoever yada whatnot, and you know life seems like you know what I mean whatever. But anyways, man, just like it takes a lot to be great, and real talk, you just gotta keep on pushing.
Yeah. All right. So now, you rap, you sing, and you're good at both of them. Now, if you were asked to choose one, which would it be?
Golly. Um, I guess I guess singing because I'ma still rap anyways. I'ma just throw a melody on it because that's what I do half the time, and people don't even realize that yo I'm spitting bars, but it just comes across differently to the ears when you hear you know a ooh and ah in the background.